Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down the gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling straight from the heart.
You are cursed.
That's right, you're cursed. Welcome to Hardway Wrestling. We are recording this on a Tuesday because this is a crazy week for me. So we're going to call this bonus material. We're going to go over some stuff that we did not get to go over on what day were we? Thursday? Thursday. That was the last time we was here, Thursday. So
I think so.
We didn't get to go over it on Thursday. I had to get up out of here. The show was already long in the tooth, so it's probably a good idea that we got out of here. Ricky, what is going on? It's just you and me today, man.
We're always long in the tooth.
That's for sure. I'm getting old though, because eventually I'm not gonna be long in any teeth.
Yeah.
Right. I might take up meth. Right. I might take up meth. We'll get rid of them immediately.
You don't want to do that. You'll look like a lot lizard.
Hey, I got $20 from my baby sick. So, anyway, Ricky, how you doing, bud?
I'm here another day.
Yeah.
Waiting on phone calls back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel good. I feel really good about it. I feel like we're not going to go into Ricky's story here. Eventually we will, because he'll have a lot to say about it, but Ricky is trying a new path here, and hopefully it works out for him. And his OnlyFans just
fingers crossed. Yep.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy today. We were chatting about OnlyFans, and he said that he has a guy that does OnlyFans, and he puts his feet in macaroni and cheese on his. I know, but people buy, like, he's got a oh, that's embarrassing.
Bunch of weirdos.
I know, it's crazy.
What a waste of macaroni and cheese.
Listen. I don't care, and it's fine. Do the macaroni and cheese. I don't care what you're doing, and don't waste it. I'm with you. Don't waste it. Eat the macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I hope your OnlyFans takes off. You'll be seeing it very soon. It's a lot of beard. A lot of beard.
It's just gonna be my beard.
It all connects, right? The carpets and the drapes and the welcome mat all match. So
hell yeah.
So anyway,
black
we're gonna
on
get
top,
into it
white
here.
on the bottom.
Yeah, I heard that about you. We're gonna get to it. We wanted to talk about Dallas Edwards last Thursday. We're a week and a half away from it now. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into Raw from last night, and we're gonna get into some gimmick changes here that Ricky is just not happy with. So we're gonna talk about that. But let's first, before we get into some of the topics here, let's cover Raw from last night.
Let's do it. So another good Raw, I think. Started off with the Beast, Brock Lesnar, because this man don't get paid by the hour. Show up, do his thing, and gone. He's like a 10-minute segment anymore at most. Him and Heyman show up, and Heyman's talking about how Brock exerted himself over the 20 masked men that was at Seth Rollins' side, and Femi took advantage of that. And he said that Brock Lesnar, nobody's gonna stop Brock Lesnar with his WrestleMania defeating streak of The Undertaker. What was that, like almost 10 years ago now?
It's been a minute.
Jaw
still dropped. Still dropped from it. Yep.
Exactly. But Goldberg couldn't do that. Braun Strowman couldn't do that. And he even says the names of Dean Ambrose and Bobby Lashley, which got a rise out of the crowd in Boston.
Yeah.
No, not AJ Styles and not John Cena either. So we get Obafemi coming out again. We get her face to face. Brock tries to kick him and put him in the F5, and Oba slips off his back and clotheslines him very hard out of the ring. Stunning.
Hell
It
of
was
a
a nice one.
That was a pretty good bump. What did you think of the FAF5 shirt that Brock had on?
I mean, you should have knew that was coming sooner or later. Like
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
somebody says something, it was almost like Tony Khan showed up again. What he say? Put that on a shirt.
Yeah. Well, the only difference is Tony Khan and him doesn't sell shirts like that. They don't. If you've been, we've been. If anybody's ever been to an AEW event, their merchandise tables are pretty lackluster.
They're small.
Very.
And there's usually only 2 of them.
Items or booths?
Both.
Okay. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. So we get the Vision, or let's go back to Brock and Oba. We know this is going to probably be a quick, hard-hitting match, probably the opener of either WrestleMania night. I am all for it.
Yeah.
This is one of the matches I'm most definitely looking forward to on the card. This should be a banger for sure. And it's going to get Obafemi out there even more than he already is. So definitely looking forward to this one.
Yeah, no, it is going to be a banger. I'm with you. I don't know how long it's going to last. Do you think they put Oba over? I mean, Oba's been on top twice in a row now. Now we know that Brock's got to get his get back here.
Brock's supposed to be in MSG next week, so I think next week Brock might get himself a piece back one way or another. We'll see what happens.
And we haven't seen Oba. I mean, in NXT, not as much either, but we haven't really seen Oba get thumped. So
it took what was it, like 2 or 3 guys had to take him down the one time?
Yeah.
And
we watched him in that 4-way. It was with Carmella Hayes. Was it? No, it was a 3-way.
It was 3-way, yeah.
Yeah, it was Carmella Hayes. Who was the third?
Oh man, I don't even remember who it was anymore.
Dijak? Was it Dijak?
Yeah, it was for the North American title when we saw him.
I think, was it North American title?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Trick and Carmelo were fighting over the NXT title at that time, I think.
Oh, okay.
That was Philly, man.
Yeah, Philly.
When we saw that.
Yeah, what a monster.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Moving on. So
I don't think we really respected Oba then. Like, I don't really thought
I did. I thought he was a beast in the making.
I mean, we knew he was a monster, but I don't think that we really looked at him like that. But they just, he's bigger than life.
Yeah. Yeah. To launch Lesnar with that power bomb was
unbelievable.
It was an amazing sight to see. We get the Vision in a non-title tag match with the Usos. Logan Paul gets his brass knucks out at one point, and LA Knight comes out, takes him out real quick and tosses the knucks into the ring, and then Jey Uso sees red and starts clobbering everybody, gets the Usos disqualified. And this leads to a match.
I think they're losing those titles at MSG.
I'm on the fence with this. I'm on the fence. It's going to be.
I think the focus is not on those titles. Jay said it, or Jimmy said it in that promo at the end. I just don't think their focus is going to be there. I can almost see where Punk calls them to. I think we're getting heel Punk coming, but we'll get into that. But I think Punk causes them to lose those titles.
Yeah, we got a New York street fight next week between the Vision and the Usos for the World Tag titles.
The return of Braun Breaker.
I don't know. We'll see. Then El Grande Americano #2 said he's going to beat El Grande Americano one more time and unmask him next week. I think they're setting up the mask versus mask thing. El Grande Americano, not the OG, is like the man down in AAA. So
yeah,
I think we might see the revealing of the OG to protect the non-OG.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, still don't know who the original Americano Grande. I don't. think that's who it is. But again, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We get
See.
we get Becky Lynch doing her rampaging promo, crying about how she murdered the Diva Zera and ripped the wings off the Diva title and all that nonsense. And she's pissed off because her daughter's favorite wrestler is AJ Lee, and she skips around the house like AJ Lee. And AJ Lee comes out and chases Becky off and gives her what she wants.
Yep.
The return match at Mania.
Now this is I don't think we need to solidify Becky by any means, and but I'm hoping that they don't put the title back on her. I don't think we need. I could care less if either one of these women have the title, but I really don't hope. I hope they don't put it back on Becky, which I feel like they're going to.
Yeah, I kind of called it the opposite. I felt like Becky was going to retain at Elimination Chamber, and then AJ was going to get her moment at Mania and take the title off of her. But it looks like it's going to be the opposite.
Well, remember, did Becky came back at Mania last year, right? Didn't she?
Yeah,
she returned, right? Yeah,
she was Lyra's mystery partner.
Pretty good pop.
Bailey, yeah. I'm over her, man.
Yeah, me too. She's a little much for me, I think. I've never been a Becky fan anyway, but you know, it was good to see her come back, and it's going to be even better to see her leave.
Yeah. Then we get a pretty good match between Javon Evans and Grayson Waller.
Yeah, two superstars that are. I don't really know what they're doing with Grayson Waller, and I don't think he knows what they're doing with him.
It's going to be a post-Mania release. I got a feeling.
Ooh, it feels like it, right?
Yeah. Like, cause I feel like one way or another, something's going to happen with Javon Evans in the New Day, whether he joins them or not. But I don't know. Something's going to go down with that. Just the way
I don't think they're ready for him to be
like,
heel.
No, he shouldn't be a heel, but the way Kofi is just like ogling him every time he's in the ring, yeah.
It's very possible. Sometimes you need a super baby face to get a heel back to the light side, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Javon Edwards is that kind of guy. Like if there's anybody that make people want to be around Kofi and Xavier again, I mean,
yeah, he would be that guy.
Or maybe we get Javon Evans jump Big E from behind on commentary and put him, retire him for good.
I think we've already know that Big E's retired from the Slim Jim commercial.
He's not coming back.
Yeah. Paul Heyman asked for Adam Pearce to book the tag title match that we previously mentioned. And then he comes out and has his TV time where he says he's no longer got Reed or Breaker because they're injured. And then Lesnar's so pissed off from Oba that he's left the arena and he's all by himself, and he wants Rollins to come out and put him out of his misery. So Rollins finally shows up, stands on the table, and then we've got 4 police officers there to escort him out as Heyman announces he's got a restraining order on Rollins. So they're taking Rollins out through the crowd, and Heyman was really good here, telling him that if he's arrested, his wife will leave him, and then that his daughter will end up having to need to get adopted by Heyman, and then that set Rollins off. He goes running back to the ring, clobbers Heyman, and kind of felt like that old Stone Cold moment where he can't hit McMahon and he does, and then he's getting taken out in cuffs. Well, Rollins gets arrested. So
no, this is really good. Heyman was excellent in this.
Yes,
Paul has taken a pretty good beating here the last couple of weeks, right?
He has.
That forearm he took there and last night was it was on it. He was on it.
I don't know. Heyman's crazy, and he gets the business. I think he might be telling these guys, like, let me have it. Make it real.
Yeah. They got to figure out something with his vision, right? And the vision is it's starting to flounder because half the group is gone and the other two are like the newest guys in the group, and it's not.
I feel
I don't
like
know.
Austin Theory's holding Logan Paul back from what he could be.
Yeah, Logan Paul's definitely been nerfed. To use the video game term, he's definitely been nerfed here
Yeah.
lately. But I don't. I think they went ahead and nerfed him ahead of time because Braun was the guy that was supposed to be unhinged, not Logan Paul. And Logan Paul does have that unhinged mentality.
Yeah, I just feel like right now they need somebody else, and it. I don't know. I feel like LA Knight might be that guy in a way because they kind of teased something with him and the Usos possibly having a fallout. Um, I don't know. They don't
Oh,
really have anything right now for LA for Mania.
yeah. Well, Jimmy and Jay they're definitely on their own island right now. So and they don't want LA on it or anybody really.
Yeah,
So LA doesn't really get along with anybody, honestly.
yeah. We go to the Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra pins Kyrie Sane to win the match. Bailey showing her frustrations, but it looks like next week on Raw we're going to get the women's tag title match as Lyra and Bailey will take on the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend, and Nia Jax.
So I think this is where we get the Bailey or the Lyra turn.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think this is where we get the live return. So, because
Yeah.
everybody thinks we're gonna beat, they're gonna beat Lash and Nia, but this is gonna be from out in left field for a lot of people,
Yeah,
but not
they're
here at Hardway Wrestling, where you should
no,
go like and subscribe.
exactly. Yeah, this is that in the prediction. It's a spoiler, as Paul Heyman likes to say. Oh man! So then we got our favorite segment of the night backstage with I Show Speed and Adam Pearce, and then our boy Danhausen shows up and tells him that he wants him to split his subscribers, his 180 million human people subscribers, and split the profits. And Speed tells him no, and Danhausen says, "Well,
You
3
are
words:
cursed.
you are cursed."
That's right.
And then we get a post Raw thing where they race, and if Danhausen loses, he's got to uncurse Speed. And spoiler alert: Danhausen does not win or does not lose.
Wait a minute, Danhausen won that? I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's a clip. So
I'll have to go look.
yeah, they line up in front of a truck and Speed takes off, and then it shows Speed out in front saying it's easy, and then Danhausen takes off very slowly, and then it flips to the other angle, and then Danhausen's just standing there like this. What took you so long?
I did not catch that.
Yeah, it was entertaining as usual. Asuka backstage is yelling in Japanese to Kyrie. Io is trying to console Kyrie, and Raquel gets in Io's face. She challenges her to a match on Raw next week. I love me some Io Sky, and can't wait to see that. Then we get a Intercontinental Championship rematch between Penta and Dom, and as Dom and Liv Morgan are walking to the ring, Stephanie Valkyrie comes out and absolutely clobbers Liv, and they are fighting all through Gorilla. Liv dropped Stephanie straight on that floor, or was it the other way around? I can't remember, but one of them took a nice shot right on the ground.
I don't know how to feel about this coming up for Mania. I love Liv. I love Liv. And I don't think Stephanie has had enough really good title defenses yet.
Run's been lackluster.
Yeah, but I think that the reason why they put her. I mean, she's definitely a decent wrestler. She's a great wrestler. But I really think this whole AAA thing. It's AAA, right? It's AAA. Yeah, I think this whole AAA thing is been good for her, right? This is the whole trying to get that demographic of people. I just don't think that she's We need her against a Rio. Somebody like that. We know we need her. We need her against. I hate to say this. We need her against a Charlotte, right? We'd like to see her against a Charlotte or somebody like that. And nothing taking nothing away from Liv at all. I just don't feel like this. Always feels like there's going to be some sort of bullshit interference, and Liv's could win this title at any time. Um, I, I just would rather see. I'd rather see somebody, even Jade Cargill possibly would be more intriguing than Liv Morgan winning this match or fighting.
I feel
Unless
like
they're trying to solidify her as that is the next one.
I feel like Liv winning this title in Mania with some help from Raquel is gonna start to further that turn that I think is going to happen here soon with them too, because Liv threw Raquel out of the Rumble. Liv costed her in her title match against Stephanie on Raw. So I feel like at some point it's coming. So we get the IC title match. Penta retains over Dom as Balor shows up to distract Dom as he's getting ready to go for the frog splash, and Dom rolls him up, and Balor gets some hits back on Dom. He runs out of into the crowd, and JD McDonough's left high and dry to get Sling Blade and the shotgun drop kick. So they're setting that up nicely for Balor versus Dom at Mania. I think I want to see the Demon. We got to get the Demon back.
Yeah, I think both of them in war paint would be wild for Mania, and I'd almost go the length of doing a Bray Wyatt, like the ultraviolet light or the ultraviolet paint where it glows. Yeah, like the pit. We're not sponsoring it, but I think it would look wild if both of them. You know that what's that that paint, the Aztec-y paint, the skull, the old, you know what I'm talking about for Dom. I think that would look really wild.
Oh,
I'm for it.
Let's do it. We go to Jimmy Uso in the back telling Punk to be careful with what he says because Jay is on the warpath. So Punk comes out and, you know, he's going to talk shit about Roman, says he can't do anything without his cousins, and the entire family can't do anything on his own. Punk said that he's old, but he isn't ashamed of it. He's proud of it. And Punk asked if he was ashamed he would be using Just for Men for his beard like Roman does. Jey Uso comes out along with Jimmy trying to hold him back. And
there was some mixed reactions here with the crowd. It didn't really feel like the crowd was on Punk's side this time.
Yeah, I think Jay said, "Was he going to do yeet me to death?" Or Punk said that about Jay. Right. Was he going to yeet him to death? And Jay said Punk said Jay never got his rematch that he rightfully deserved, and asked if he wanted to go. And Jay, of course, getting ready to go, and Roman comes out and he looks at Jimmy and he says, "I don't know what's going on. Didn't you guys have your tag team match? I'm going to respectfully ask you to get out of my ring." And as they're leaving,
that was very big dog. Like I didn't know we were going to see that.
Then all hell breaks loose because as he's leaving, Punk says, "Stick around. Roman's going to need your help." And boy, did Jay go nuts. He went right in, took a haymaker from Punk. Jimmy goes in, ties up with Punk, and then here comes the Superman punch out of nowhere, and Roman just absolutely beats the shit out of Punk, power bombs him through the table, and Punk's laughing. Punk's laughing the whole time at the end as he's rolling around on the ground. Well, and the crowd's chanting one more time, "Do it again." Yeah.
Where it really hit for me is when, and I think you AK might have put it in the chat, where Jay looks at Roman and says, "Joe," calls him Joe, and says, "You get him. You get him." Yeah. So
it's like he's calling the shots.
First off, this is the Jay that we've wanted. this angry version of Jay where he is ready to fight. His teeth are gritted the whole time, and his silver fronts. Um, it's a different level of Jay that we've been wanting. I wish we would have got this type of Jay, or he'd had the title long enough to turn heel to get this part of Jay. Jay's doing great work right now,
Yeah.
and Jimmy's doing a good job of holding Jay's mic. And then Roman, like we're back,
He's got to get practice holding something in for that baby drops.
that's right. I think the baby already came.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think the baby came. I think this is the Roman we want to see, and I think at the end of this is where maybe Roman passes the baton on to Jay.
Possibly.
I mean, how many times has Jimmy or Jay or Solo or anybody said anything to Roman where he listened? Like he followed Jay's what Jay said. Go get him, Joe.
He was gonna leave.
He used his government name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he was all over him.
Good Raw. Really good Raw.
It was.
Yeah, really good Raw. So. Anyway, let's get into it. We wanted to talk about it last week. We didn't get a chance to, but Dallas Edwards, referee for OVW, had a seizure in the ring, and I'm just going to go through, just going to recap it real quick. Dallas Edwards, indie wrestling was in an indie wrestling match. Is reported he's dealing with a brain injury after an in-ring incident caused a scary scene Thursday during OVW show in Louisville, Kentucky. Referee Dallas Edwards appeared to suffer significant head trauma and seizure-like symptoms after inadvertently taking a blow to the head by wrestler Brandon Balling during a match against Tony Edwards, excuse me. In a frightening scene caught on video, Edwards goes down. It was a pretty hard hit. The forearm wasn't as bad. It was Dallas's head hitting off of the mat. You know, I know everybody thinks, oh, that mat's got padding on it. Yeah, it does. The padding is this thick. The padding is this thick. And it's not really padding. It's not really great padding. So
it's just like the carpet covering your hardwood floor in the living room.
Just a little thicker than that, but it's still there's wood underneath and metal beams and blah blah blah. But where was that here? Edwards goes down hard and taking a brute off the top. It's called a brute off the top rope maneuver from Balling, slamming the back of his head in the mat. Balling immediately checks on Edwards, and then the match continues around the falling referee. However, moments later, Edwards appeared to begin convulsing inside the ring. He is then dragged and kicked into the corner by Evans. Before the severity of the situation appears to dawn on the performers, and the show is halted, with medical personnel attending to Edwards. A referee had a legitimate seizure at OVW, and he was just dragged and kicked out of the way in a match could continue until someone ran into the ring to check on him. That was a tweet. A woman identified as Edwards' girlfriend issued a statement Friday morning indicating that Edwards has been hospitalized and asking the wrestling community to keep Dallas in their thoughts. She was asking, keep Dallas in your thoughts. Edwards was also, he's reported awake, coherent, and in good spirits. A picture of Edwards smiling. Oh, I think I got that on here. Hold on. Where am I at? Boom. There he is. Edwards smiling. That's not really a smile, but he's smiling. Anyway. Thoughts. Edwards reportedly awake, coherent, and in good spirits. A picture of Edwards smiling while giving the thumbs up from the hospital bed was posted. So that was Thursday or Friday. That was Friday. We saw this, and the wrestling community is in an uproar. I can't believe this happened. These wrestlers are pieces of shit. They weren't paying. They blah blah blah. You name it. They probably said it. The wrestling community. Now I'm not talking about wrestlers, but I'm talking about the wrestling community. When you first saw this video, what were your thoughts?
Well, at first, like if I was just watching it and didn't have any context, I just figured it's a regular ref bump. But when like you said, he starts doing the convulsing and everything, then you know something probably isn't right. And it's just unfortunate that it took that long before somebody had realized that he was in some serious spot that he needed help. But thankfully, like, they got him out of there and he's in good spirits now. But I mean, it could have been worse. Could have been
Well,
much, much worse. And I think just everybody should be a little bit more aware, I guess, in a sense. Somebody should know that this isn't part of what was scheduled to happen, I guess you should say. So
I'm going to take you back to November. Your friend is standing in a wrestling ring, oozing and squirting blood. Did you
yeah,
think it was part of the?
no,
No. Okay.
no, you that definitely not. And two things gave away. One, you were bleeding like it was like horror movie blood, like it was just squirting everywhere. And then I look over and Jesse sitting over by the timekeeper's table like this and looking like all concerned. I looked at Scotty and I'm like, I think something's wrong here, man.
We're about to lose hard way wrestling, Scotty.
I was like, I think he gigged himself too deep.
Yeah. So there are things that happen in wrestling rings. It happens all the time, accidentally or on purpose, right? Sometimes things happen, you get injured. The injuries, wrestling is not as fake as people
That's
believe,
why
right?
they say don't try this shit at
Yes,
home.
absolutely. Do not try this at home. You know, we are trained a certain way. We are trained to do things a certain way. And sometimes it doesn't matter how well you're trained, you still can be injured. And that again, that I'd never, I'd never gigged myself like that before. I've drawn blood, but never to never to that bad.
You were in
Yes,
line. You were in line behind John Moxley and half the AEW roster for blood
without a
transfusions.
fork or skewers, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm not putting this on me, but sometimes things happen in the ring and there's protocols for wrestlers. Even though you couldn't have got me out of that ring if you wanted to, I was going to leave that ring when I was ready. I was either going out when I was done or I was done. You know what I mean? So, but there are protocols for referees. Yeah, that is your first line of defense in a ring. When you got an injury, the referee is communicating with the back or the whoever and making sure that things are going good. The time is good on the match, and we're supposed to be and whatnot, and what's coming up next, and blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Right? There's constant communication. If somebody gets injured, referees throw up the X's. You guys have seen them throw up all the X's and all that stuff. Or and there's an X that they throw up when they're not injured, but they want people to think that not to go too far behind the curtain, but but your first line of defense goes down. You don't really think about it, right? You don't think, okay, well, the referee, how often do referees get injured like that? I would say almost never, right? Almost never do referees take bumps all the time. And if to become a referee, you need to be trained also, right? You have to learn how to bump it because you're going to bump at some point. You got to learn how to fall too, because you're just going to, right? You might not bump as much as wrestlers do, but and Edwards was a trained wrestler. Like, he was trained, right? He's a good trained wrestler referee, right? But he's the first line of defense. The referee is the first line of defense. And then what do you do? Right. And I think that's what the community was up in arms about. Oh my God, you guys weren't ready. Nobody knew that the wrestlers, those assholes in the ring, were kicking and pushing him out of the way. It's not like that. When you're in the ring, you're caught up in the moment, right? Things just don't stop like that. And we also, the whole show must go on is a real thing, right? You don't really, if you're badly injured, then you go home, right? Then the referee will tell you to go home or do whatever. and you end the match earlier than you were supposed to. But a lot of times guys try to finish, right? They try to finish their job. They try to finish, finish the match and that kind of stuff because they worked very hard to get to that point. So they want to finish the match. And again, I called my match very short. I actually cut a lot, didn't really cut it short, cut things out of it to get to where we needed to get. And then the ending wasn't the ending we wanted because, I was dying, but I was dying in the ring. So when your first line of defense comes down, everyone was all upset. They should have known something was going on, but they might not have. They might not have realized. Now, they probably, going over the show ahead of time, they would have known if he was supposed to take a bump or not. And maybe he was supposed to take a bump, but maybe not that hard, right? Maybe it wasn't supposed to be that hard. And I don't know if that was the case or not. They might have said it by now. I don't know. I stopped paying attention because I think most fans of wrestling don't understand wrestling. They only understand what they see. They don't understand the other aspects of wrestling. So I stopped paying attention to keyboard warriors and stuff that are tearing people up, tearing these wrestlers up. So, but them not knowing what is going on at the time is very possible, right? They probably did not know that he was having a seizure. And then all they know in their mind is, I got to get from this spot to this spot to this spot to this spot.
Yes.
And this guy is laying in the middle of my ring down, whether he was supposed to take a bump or not. He's down in the middle of the ring. Now, most of the time when referees take bumps like that, they roll to the side, right? They roll under the ropes or they roll to the end, wherever, away from the action, not in the middle of the ring, away to a corner, wherever. And he did not, right? That should have almost been right there, the tall tale sign of what was going on. But they did not recognize it. And it seemed like they went on for another whole minute, but I'm not exactly sure how they went on, why he laid there. And he did have a seizure. He did take a hell of a shot to the head. So as of right now, he's out. He seems to be okay. I haven't gotten any more word. Jess is our female that comes on here every once in a while. She's production of OVW. And we had talked about, I wanted her to come on to talk about it, but she said that she couldn't at the time. And she just said, refer to Al Snow's statement, which was put out by OVW. I'm not going to go through this whole statement, but basically Al, and this was over a week and a half ago now. But basically Al came out and said that saddened by the situation and they're going to put protocols in place. A lot of people, again, a lot of wrestling fans, some wrestlers, I'm sure too, and one in particular, Scotty would have, if Scotty was on here today, he probably would have lit it up. With Jim Cornette talked about this, but it's unfortunate. Shit does happen. We're glad that the Dallas is alive, right? We're not going to come on here and shit on Al or his production team.
It's unfortunate and stuff like that. You don't expect it to happen until it happens, and then you're caught off guard and just blindsided by it.
Yeah. Do I think they should have? The people in the back should have recognized there was something going on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. That is my number one thing. That even though something they got to be paying attention, and maybe they weren't paying attention. I'm not exactly sure. I know there's a monitor in the back that they're watching, and it's very possible that they didn't catch it. And the cameras that kept flipping back and forth, maybe they didn't have a good camera at the time to notice exactly what was going on. I'm not making excuses. But here are some of the safety protocols and updates I think they just came out with. That I guess, what was it? AK sent these out today. These immediate protocols mark the start of OVW's strengthening ongoing commitment to the health and safety of the talent and everyone involved. This is a living, evolving effort that will grow as new best practices, training, and industry standards emerge. Our focus is long-term well-being for our talent, crew, and fans, right? So the first protocol is detecting early signs of seizure training. So they're going to put their guys through seizure training, which I think this is fucking awesome, right?
Yeah,
this is awesome. I think that anytime they should, and I haven't looked through, I haven't even read these protocols yet, but I think this is good to do seizure training. I think CPR is another thing that wrestlers this should be part of their wrestling CPR training, because listen, shit happens in the ring. There are guys in that ring that have heart conditions that either don't know it or do know it and don't talk about it much, and things happen, right? Shit happens. Me in partnership. In
Ric Flair.
What's that?
Ric Flair.
Actually, Ric Flair, yeah, he died in front of us. In partnership with the Epilepsy Foundation of Kentucky, and OVW will host an April seizure first class certificate program for talent and staff. The training covers how to recognize different types of seizures, understand their impact, and the response with safety appropriate first aid. Participants receive a 2-year certificate. I think that's awesome, right? I think that's awesome. And everyone should, even though it was a terrible thing, and maybe there was some, the OVW did not do its due diligence with this situation. They're learning from it, right? And this is the big thing. Like, can you imagine if this was some shindy, right? What if this is like ATCW and this happens in the ring, right? Are we a different? Is ATCW around today? Right? Does Chucky make changes? Right? And let's not put Chucky out there, because ATCW is no longer around. But what if it's some shindy that just pops up somewhere? Because West Virginia is wild, wonderful, wild, wonderful wrestling, WWW. They pop up, they disappear, they run out of money, tax season's over, they're out of money, blah, whatever. Are we just gonna hear that a wrestling organization let a guy die? Probably.
Yeah, that would be fucking terrible.
Yeah. So I give it to OVW, right? I applaud your effort. Concussion safety and CTE prevention. In partnership with Chris Nowinski, PhD, co-founder and CEO of Concussion and CTE Foundation, OVW will host in April. They're getting on this shit pretty quickly. Concussion safety and CTE prevention training for talent and staff. This training will be added to OVW's academy. Beginning syllabus, moving forward. Amazing. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Additional medical staff at ringside. And this is the big one here. And I think this is probably where my concern was with OVW not having the proper people in place around the ring. Through our partnership with Norton Healthcare, OVW will deploy additional trained medical staff at larger events on a case-by-case basis. Norton Healthcare will also provide a CPR training for talent and staff and contractors. In-ring and back office communication, another big one here. And this is the last one. In addition to referees, ring announcers being equipped with inner ear monitor devices, IFBs, on our ringside cameras, crew having production headsets for faster communication with the backstage team, our ringside timekeepers, and we'll now have headsets for fast, direct communication with the director. This allows an immediate decision to stop matches or check on talent. So say what you want about this situation, then we'll get off of this. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Say what you want. OVW has stepped up, right?
Absolutely.
They didn't sweep it under the rug. They didn't say Dallas, fucked up. They didn't put blame. They put blame on themselves, and that's exactly what they should have done. So I applaud Al and that team over there and doing the right thing. Final thoughts there, Rick?
Nope. Said everything.
So, well wishes to Dallas. We're glad that you're doing well. I'm sure he'll be back soon enough. Referees are like wrestlers; they can't stay out of the ring. So, anyway, we had a gimmick change that you were not too happy about. Tell us about that gimmick.
Jesus, Pete, man. If you watch AEW and my God, like I don't watch AEW Collision per se because it's on Saturday. I have crap I do on Saturdays usually, but I do watch clips of it. Had a love child with the golem from Lord of the Rings. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's gone through some changes every once in a while. Is he no longer with
Action
Action
Andretti
Andretti,
wearing the looking like little
the Mario
Pokemon or
brother
whatever. Yeah, they got little foam spike
spikes? Yeah,
vests.
the
I've never
Legion,
been a
I
fan.
call them the Legion of Dumb.
I've never been a fan of Leo Rush or any of his gimmicks.
Yeah.
So I mean, does this surprise me? No. It's a little weird actually, like just looking at it and I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
Well, I think everybody's always trying to lately, not even lately, within the last 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years probably. They're always trying to chase that Bray Wyatt demon type of uh,
This guy ain't
character.
gonna do it.
You know, every time I see Leo Rush, I don't care what character is doing, and he's a great wrestler. Like Leo's a great wrestler, and he's made for AEW, Dark. But every time I see Leo Rush, this is all I can hear.
Lashley.
Lashley,
Yeah,
Lash.
bring
That's
this
all
hype
I ever.
man. Yeah.
That is all I
But
ever see.
this is just why would you want to be galloping around the ring like a fucking hyena and like
Diving through the ring. And did he win that match?
no, he
So
did not.
they change his gimmick and then he loses with it,
Yeah,
which
Ciampa
makes
hits him with the
absolutely,
running knee and he beats him.
yeah, absolutely no sense. If you're going through a gimmick change and you're trying to get it over, losing isn't it. Losing
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it.
like I don't
So
know what the purpose of this gimmick was, but it can go right. It just made the list of terrible gimmicks that we've seen over the years.
well, speaking of list, that got me thinking. There's been a lot of gimmick changes over the years, good or bad. So I'm going to go through the top 20 here, and you tell me what you think. You tell me what you think. Is it good or bad? Right. So we'll start with number 20. DDP. He was a manager, and he jumped over to the NWO and kind of became a. I guess he went from a manager to a wrestler. DDP.
DDP. I mean, DDP's DDP.
He was 40 some years old when he started wrestling.
Yeah, he was up there, and he's still doing yoga and stuff. So I don't know. It's DDP. I'm not gonna. Eh.
Yeah.
He kind of stayed the same course through the whole thing, even through the stalking Undertaker's wife.
I don't blame him. Number 19, Marcus Bagwell to Buff Bagwell. Remember, he was just
Great
Marcus.
gimmick.
Yeah, he just
Great
went
gimmick.
from Marcus Bagwell. Remember, he was just a college kid, frat kid. He went
Yep.
to the Buff the Stuff, right?
Yep.
Buff the Stuff, and then he went to mid card. He went to a mid carder, the male gigolo.
I forgot about that
Yeah,
one,
he went to the male
and
gigolo.
that's probably why. But yeah, the Buff Bagwell gimmick was his best.
King Corbin went to bum ass Corbin,
Bum ass Corbin was great.
and then Happy Corbin.
Baron Corbin is probably one of the most underrated guys that I've seen come from WWE, and he was always losing matches. He always had pretty good matches, great moveset.
Yeah, for a big guy, he's a big guy too.
Yeah, and they had this guy built up. He won Money in the Bank. He was a United States champion, and then they did nothing with him after that. It's like Vince figuratively and literally shit on him, shaved his hair, put a crown on him, made him a constable, and then a bum. But Bum Corbin was awesome.
Yeah, I like Bum Corbin.
Yeah.
I like the Lone Wolf, right? I like the
Lone
Lone
Wolf
Wolf.
was a
Corbin.
great
Yeah, I
gimmick.
like the Lone Wolf Corbin. That's who I like. So, Tony Storm, rocker Tony Storm, went
Love
to
Tony Storm.
Timeless Tony Storm. Was that a good move?
That is probably the all-time best move because she has been the face of the women's division in AEW since, and it's unfortunate she's going to be out of action for a while.
Why is she out of action? She's gone for the rest of the year.
They did not say it, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say Juice gave her the juice.
Okay, you think she's
That's just my
okay.
that's my guess. Timeless Tony Storm, hands down.
I liked when she went from Rocker Tony Storm to Timeless, and then got amnesia and went back to her old gimmick and pretend like she was a new person, like just coming to AEW. I thought that was great. She's good. Tony Storm is excellent.
Yeah.
If you bite a vagina in the middle of a wrestling ring, you get my thumbs up all day long.
You get your tits stapled.
She bite a tit. Lionheart, Chris Jericho to heel Jericho. I mean, Jericho has probably had more heel and gimmick changes than Kane.
Really, the only Jericho gimmick that I didn't really care for was the Appreciation Society and the Learning Tree, which was his last two before he disappeared to AEW. But the Festival of Friendship with Kevin Owens, the List Jericho, by far the best.
Y2J, baby. Y2J. Broken Matt Hardy.
Broken Matt Hardy, great gimmick. Wish we could have seen more of it. Him and Brother Nero. Love it. Great gimmick. Very comical.
APA Bradshaw to JBL.
I mean,
give me Bradshaw all day long. I don't care about the rich JBL. I'd rather have Bradshaw.
I want the beer drinking card
giving
playing.
that lariat and taking dudes' heads off all day.
Yeah. I liked APA Bradshaw better. I mean, it's not like he wasn't ever. They gave him a title run. He had some great feuds with Cena and Eddie Guerrero. So, but give me APA all day.
The Blade Runner Flash to the man we know as Sting.
Sting, yeah. Another all-time great change.
Great push for him.
The icon, the legend.
Yeah. The Godfather. I think that was his last one, right? Or did he go from Godfather to Papa Shango?
No. He went from Papa Shango to Kama, the ultimate fighting machine.
Kama.
Then the Godfather, then the Good Father with Right to Censor.
The whole train.
Godfather definitely ever, and I think that's Vince McMahon living out one of his alter egos in his head, as putting 100%. It into a real life character.
100%. Dom Mysterio to Dirty Dom.
Great change.
Yep, great change.
Great change.
Hulk Hogan to Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
One of the most iconic changes of all time.
Yeah, this was he was dead in WWE. Like, his character was dead. They hated him. They were done with him. He went to WCW, made the heel change, with the Outsiders, and it just, man, he got another 12, 15 years off this same gimmick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just crazy.
Well, yeah, it seemed like, well, yeah, it was a good while.
It was a while. He had all the NWO, then he had the TNA run and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So then he came back to the WWE as NWO.
And then he had his one last American Hero moment where he won the world title from Triple H.
Yeah. Hunter Hearst Helmsley to Triple H.
Another great one.
DX there, yeah.
Yeah.
He was also, what was
pretty much just a nobody.
Terrorizing.
WCW, yeah.
Terrorizing. This was a good one. Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah.
To the Undertaker. Yeah.
Who just had his 61st birthday today, I believe.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
God. Stardust to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Definitely a good change.
Where it was Cody, then he went to Stardust.
He was dashing Cody.
Dashing Cody Rhodes, yes. Uh,
Yeah, now he's top guy. He's the baby face of the company.
Irish lass kicker
Becky Lynch.
to the man, Becky Lynch. Now as much as we don't care for Becky Lynch, this took her from like mid card.
Put her into superstardom pretty much.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, to the top. So, the big dog to Tribal Chief.
Definitely a big jump because the big dog was rammed down our throats and we hated him.
We saw the big dog last night.
We did, but he was
Love mean ass Roman. Love that.
still. But yeah, he's way better now.
Husky Harris.
Good old Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, yeah, to the Fiend. So,
Yep.
another very, very good.
Very
I
good.
actually liked when they brought those guys up from NXT.
The
right?
Nexus.
The Wyatt family. No, not talking about Husky
gotcha.
Harris. I'm talking about the Wyatt family.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a great. Those three groups, those three guys in that group were perfect together. They were all perfect. So, Isaac Yankum, Fake Diesel
The big red machine.
to the Kane, yep, to Kane, and now to the mayor. So, I liked Isaac Yankum.
He was creepy
He's
as a
terrible
little
teeth.
kid at the time. It was creepy as hell.
Not a chance was I ever going to the dentist if this guy ever rolled in.
Yeah,
Rocky Maivia to the Rock, blue chip to corporate national leader. No, wait a minute. What was he before Rocky Maivia? He was something else.
I think they. What did they call him?
What was he called? He was in the blue. Or was he Rocky Maivia then?
No, he was Rocky Maivia.
No, he had another name. He had another name.
I can't remember if his
swear he
first match they just called him Dwayne Johnson or something like that.
did. Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, he went right to Rocky Maivia, and then they turned him into the corporate champion.
Yeah.
Oh no, well, he was Nation Rock next, and then the corporate champion.
Last but not least, stunning Steve Austin to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Don't forget the ringmaster in between.
To the ringmaster to anti-hero. That to me is probably your best one because they had no idea what this guy was going to do, and then they cut that promo.
I mean, he had a
360
decent WCW career as a mid carder when he was with the Dangerous Alliance and he was television champion.
Danny Spivey, was it Danny Spivey?
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, he had a decent mid card career in WCW, but again, the genius behind Austin 316 will forever live on.
That's right. So yeah, not everything is Leo Rush, Ricky. Relax.
Thank God.
Yeah. So they can't all be gems, buddy. They can't all be gems. So maybe we'll come up with maybe I'll have a list for the next show of ones that went bad. We could talk about
Festus.
Festus. Yeah, I love Fest. Ding. What was the guy that his helmet fell off? Was that Tugboat? Who was it that fell through the wall and his helmet fell off?
I can't remember right now.
Oh God, it was a stormtrooper hat that had glitter on it. I cannot remember either what his name was. Shit, we need Scotty for that one. So anyway, maybe I'll come up with a list of the worst gimmick changes. So anyway, that's going to do here for Heartbreak Wrestling. Just the Lone Wolves and I tonight. Just the OGs in the house. We'll be back next Thursday for all your wrestling news and what happened over the weekend and stuff. We got Mania coming up, but we're only a few short weeks away from Mania. We got a Mania show. What is it?
About 3.5 weeks.
My. It'll be here before you know it. So appreciate you all joining us. Make sure you go like and subscribe. And again, ring that bell. We've had a good uptick here. We're also, if you don't like to look at us, actually, if you love to look at us and you don't want to watch the whole show, that's okay. You can watch the whole show on YouTube. But if you just want to watch clips, you go to our Hardway Wrestling YouTube or a TikTok page. We're all over TikTok. We're growing on TikTok. If you don't want to look at us, because at times, not the most handsome people in the world, right? I'm not talking about Ricky, because Ricky's a good-looking boy, but me, not so much. Circles, bags, whatever. Cut myself. You can listen to us on all your podcasting platforms. You can listen to it on Spotify.
What?
You can listen to it on iTunes.
What?
You know where you can listen to it, Rick? Google
Play.
Because Scotty fucked it up.
Damn.
Anyway, you can go listen to us there, but make sure you guys all go like and subscribe, and we appreciate you guys coming out. And we will see you guys next time
On the hard way. Conan.